Hey, Mike McGroarty from freeplants.com. A lot of times, especially with the people on our backyard growers board, I mentioned that, they buy some plants, and I say, well, just heal them until spring, and then in the spring you can pot them or plant them or put whatever you want. And they get confused for that. Now, this is a bundle of Japanese maples that I just bought. I bought a bunch of these things. And what I'm going to do, I am going to heal these until spring because I want to plant them out. I don't have the area completely ready where I'm going to plant them into. So I've created a little bit of a protected area to put them in. But to give you an idea of what healing is, I'm going to take this plastic bag off. Now I've got a water roots. I've got a bundle of trees. There's probably 10 of them in this bunch. And I'm just going to stick them in the ground, similar to what I could do like right here. And then I'm just going to cover the whole thing in right up to here with soil. That, in a simple sense, that's healing in. Now, what I've done is because I've got a lot of rare grafted Japanese maples, I've got some lavender twist redbud on their way, hairy Lutter's walking stick, just all kinds of really interesting plants, and I want to provide for them a bit of extra protection through the winter months. So what I've done is I've created this underground storage area. This is 24 inches deep, and I'm going to heal these in. You can see I've already taken about 50 or 80 plants and healed them in there. And all I've done is taken a bundle like this, removed all the plastic, I laid it in there sideways, kind of at an angle, and then I covered the root zone with like a potting mix. It's actually Pro Mix. So I'm just going to fill this entire bin with my plants. And then when I'm all done, I'll backfill around it. I've got an end piece that goes right across here. So it's almost like a grave, but it's an underground vault, underground storage area. And then I'm going to put a piece of plywood on top of it and kind of secure it. Now, what's really important is this is a great place for plants because they're going to be out of the wind. They still might freeze in here, but they won't freeze as severely. They won't freeze as quickly, and they're going to be out of the wind. They won't dry out. And basically, the ground heat will keep this a lot warmer than if they were on top of the ground. But because it's so nice for the plants, it's also a great place for rodents. Mice, chipmunks, all kinds of animals that could get in here, especially mice. They will chew the bark and completely girdle the trees and do a lot of damage. So I've got a weatherproof mouse bait. It's a mouse bait. It's in a paraffin bar so that it holds up in the weather. And I will put plenty of that mouse bait in here because a mouse or a family of mice could easily do thousands of dollars worth of damage. So basically, now I can do this because my soil here is sand and gravel and it drains really well. If you have a heavy clay soil, you couldn't do this without providing drainage and possibly even a sump pump and all kinds of crazy things. But nonetheless, that's the healing in process where basically if you put it, you can dig a hole on top of the ground. Don't plant them real deep because this part of the plant shouldn't be covered. Just plant them this deep, put them all in there like this. Try and get rid of as much of the air pockets you can. Use a real loose potting mix like I have. It's got a lot of perlite in it. And then I'll rinse it in really good to get rid of the air pockets. And those plants would be perfectly happy. Even if I just stuck them in the ground like this and backfilled them to here, they would be perfectly happy till spring. I'm just taking a little extra insurance because I got a lot of money invested in what I'm going to put in here. And come spring, I want them to be healthy and happy. So that's my makeshift storage area. That's a little lesson on healing plants in a temporary situation. Mike McGroarty from freeplants.com.